Relax and notice the feeling of the air around you. Notice how the room holds you, quietly, patiently, like a soft night sky holding the moon. Let your shoulders drop, just a little. Let your jaw loosen, just a little. And if your eyes want to close now, you can let them close, or let them rest in a heavy, sleepy gaze. Take a slow breath in and a longer breath out. Again, breathing in and breathing out, like you're gently fogging a window and watching the world blur into calm. And one more time, in and out. As you settle, imagine a faint breeze moving somewhere outside, a hush of air gliding through leaves, a soft rustle, like the night itself is turning pages in a book you don't have to read, only listen to. Now let your attention drift down to your feet. You don't have to move them, just notice them. Feel the soles of your feet, the weight of them, the warmth or coolness, the quiet hum of stillness. And let that calm feeling spread up through your ankles, through your calves, as if a gentle, comforting tide is rising, not rushing, just arriving, perfectly on time. Let your knees soften, your thighs loosen, and feel the surface beneath you holding all of that weight for you, so you don't have to. Let the relaxation drift to your hips, your lower back, and if you've been carrying the day there, you can set it down now, like placing a basket on the floor and feeling your hands free. Let your belly relax. No need to hold it in. No need to do anything at all. Breathing in and out. Let the calm move into your chest and notice how your breath moves all by itself, like a slow lantern swing back and forth. Now your shoulders, they can melt, like snow easing off a branch, quietly, without effort. Your arms, heavy and loose, your elbows, your wrists, your fingers, resting as if they've finally found the perfect place to be. And your neck, soft, supported. Your face, smoothing out. Forehead, cheeks, around the eyes. The tiny muscles you rarely notice, unclenching, unfurling, like a flower closing for the night. Good. And now, once you've had that moment to relax and keep calm, we can let the mind drift into a gentler place, a place where thinking becomes slower, and imagining becomes easier, and sleep begins to feel closer, like a warm light behind a curtain. Our story today sets sail at the edge of a medieval village, where night arrives not with a jolt, but with a long, honeyed sigh. Picture it, a lane of packed earth, dark and quiet, a few lanterns glowing in windows like sleepy fireflies, and above, a sky so wide and clear it feels like velvet brushed with silver. You are walking, slowly, softly, toward a cottage that waits with a friendly warmth. And as you approach, you hear it, a hearth, not roaring, just crackling, that small, steady sound of wood settling into ember, a gentle, rhythmic pop, like a slow metronome for dreaming. A simple wooden door opens with a soft creak, and you step inside. The air is warmer here and carries the faint scent of dried herbs, maybe lavender, maybe rosemary, hung in small bundles to sweeten the room. There's also the comforting smell of bread, and smoke and wool. And the moment you enter, you feel something soothing and strange in the best way. This world does not demand speed. In this cottage, the night is honored. The dark is not an enemy. It is a blanket. In the corner, you see the bed, not the towering kind from castles and tapestries, but a humble one, sturdy and loved. Layers of cloth, a thick coverlet, and nearby, something quietly fascinating, a warming pan used earlier to chase the chill from the sheets. Not fancy, just practical, like so many things here. You can almost imagine the earlier part of the evening, a household winding down at dusk, the last murmurs of conversation, the soft clink of a cup set aside, the careful banking of the fire so it lasts through the night. And now it is your turn to rest. But medieval nights have a particular rhythm, a different kind of gentleness. In this time long ago, it's said many people didn't sleep in one unbroken line. Instead, they drifted into a first sleep, deep and heavy, then rose for a quiet midnight pause, and later returned to bed for a second sleep, as naturally as the tide returning to shore. And as you listen to my voice, you don't have to do that exactly. You can simply let the idea soothe you. There is no wrong way to sleep. If you drift, you drift. If you float up for a moment, you float. And if you sink again, you sink. All of it is part of the night's kindness. Now, in the story, you move closer to the hearth. You sit in a simple chair, and the wood is smooth where many hands have rested before. The firelight makes slow shapes on the walls, golden, lazy, like it has nowhere else to be. Outside, the wind brushes the thatched roof, and you hear the faintest rustle, leaves turning over one another, branches whispering, as if the trees are speaking in a language made of comfort. Somewhere in the distance, perhaps a church bell once marked the hours, not sharp in your ears now, just a faraway memory of sound, a reminder that time can pass without you chasing it. On the floor, you notice a layer of rushes, dried reeds scattered to soften footsteps and hold warmth and scent. They make the room feel quieter, as if sound itself is being gently tucked in. And in the corner, a small candle waits, unlit for now, because the dark is welcome here. You stand again, slowly, and walk to the bed. The linens look inviting, slightly rumpled, real. You pull back the coverlet and slide in, and it's warm. Warm in a way that feels permission.
In this medieval night, there is no bright light demanding your eyes open. No screen calling your name. Only darkness, warmth, and the deep permission to rest. Your body knows how to sleep. It always has. Just like those who came before you, who slept by firelight, who trusted the night, who woke with the sun rather than an alarm, you are allowed to drift, allowed to rest, allowed to disappear gently into dreams. And so the cottage fades, the hearth dims, the sounds soften, until there is only calm, and breath, and sleep. My voice will continue, softly, guiding you through more strange and comforting habits of the medieval night, or, if you prefer, you may already be drifting too deeply to notice at all. Either way, you are safe, you are relaxed, and the night is holding you. And now, as you drift even further into rest, the night seems to widen, stretching gently around you, like a slow, deep breath taken by the world itself. In this deeper part of sleep, the mind becomes curious again, not busy, not sharp, just softly aware. In the medieval world of our story, people believed the night air itself carried influence, that it could cool overheated thoughts, quiet troubled dreams, and smooth the rough edges of the day. That is why windows were sometimes left just barely open, not wide, just enough. Imagine it now. A narrow window cracked open at the top, letting in a thin ribbon of cool air. It brushes your cheek, light as a feather, and carries the scent of damp earth, grass, and distant woods. You breathe it in, and your breath seems to slow even more. This is a world without artificial brightness. Darkness here is layered, soft shadows, deep corners, a glow where the moon touches wood or stone, and within that darkness, sleep feels protected. As you rest, the story drifts to other small, curious habits of medieval nights, habits that might seem strange now, yet feel oddly comforting when imagined slowly. For example, many people slept wearing nightcaps, simple cloth coverings meant to keep warmth close to the head, because warmth, they believed, helped the mind stay calm. Picture one now. Soft linen, slightly rumpled, worn smooth by use, settling gently over your hair. There is something soothing about being covered, about knowing your body is tucked in, from head to toe. And beneath the bed, you might imagine a small chamber pot, not unpleasant, just practical, another reminder that nothing here needs to be rushed or hidden away. Life and rest share the same quiet space. In some homes, people slept surrounded by familiar objects, tools, baskets, bundles of cloth, because familiarity brought comfort, and comfort invited sleep. Tonight, imagine that sense of familiarity around you. Everything you need is close. Everything else can wait. Your breathing now is slow and shallow, the kind of breathing that happens only when the body feels truly safe. In and out. In this state, dreams drift in gently, not vivid scenes yet, more like impressions, a sense of walking barefoot on cool stone, of leaning against a warm wall at sunset, of hearing distant laughter fade into night. And if a thought appears, you don't have to push it away. Just notice it and let it float past, like a leaf moving along a quiet stream. The medieval night was long, and people knew how to move within it without fear. If you wake, you wake. If you sleep, you sleep. Both are natural. Somewhere in the village, a rooster stirs, but does not crow yet. Even the animals understand that this hour belongs to rest. A dog sighs in his sleep. A horse shifts its weight. The earth itself seems to hum, very softly, a low, steady vibration beneath everything. And you are part of that rhythm now. Nothing pulls at you. Nothing asks you to hurry. In this part of the story, the mind begins to release even the idea of listening. Words soften, sentences stretch, meaning becomes less important than tone. You might notice my voice fading in and out of your awareness, sometimes clear, sometimes distant. That's good. That's exactly where sleep begins to take over. Imagine now that dawn is still far away, hours and hours, a wide cushion of darkness between now and morning. There is no rush to get there. The night is generous. And as you sink deeper into this second sleep, your body repairs itself, your thoughts unwind, your dreams weave quietly. You may dream of medieval streets just before sunrise, stones cool beneath your feet, mist rising slowly from the ground, bakers already awake, kneading dough by candlelight. Now, as you settle into this medieval cottage bed, I'm going to count down from 10, not to make you do anything, only to give your mind something soft to follow, like footsteps fading into fresh snow. 10. Feeling safe. 9. Feeling heavier. 8. The day growing distant. 7. Like a boat rocking on calm water. 6. Breath slow. 5. Eyelids heavy. 4. Thoughts softer. 3. Almost dreaming. 2. Drifting. 1. Resting. And now the story continues in the gentlest way, with small, curious details of how people once welcomed sleep, and how those odd little habits can feel strangely comforting tonight. A soft hush fills the cottage. The hearth settles. The wind whispers. And you, safe under the coverlet of night, begin to float toward deeper rest. And as you rest there, wrapped in warmth, listening to the gentle rhythm of your own breath, the night deepens, not darker, but softer, like velvet pressed between two palms. In the medieval world of this story, sleep is not rushed. It is approached the way one approaches a quiet animal, slowly, respectfully, with the understanding that rest arrives best when invited. Outside the cottage, the moon climbs higher. Its light spills through the small window in a pale ribbon, landing softly across the wooden floor, then drifting upward until it brushes the edge of your blanket. You don't have to move. The light moves for you. In these times long ago, people slept surrounded by familiar sounds. Not silence as we know it, but a living quiet. You might hear the faint scuttle of a mouse in the thatch, not alarming, just part of the shared night, or the distant low of cattle settling in their stalls, a sound so slow and steady it feels like a lullaby sung by the earth itself. The bed beneath you creaks softly when you shift, not a complaint, just the wood speaking in its own old language. And as your body sinks further into rest, the mind begins to wander, not sharply, but like drifting smoke. In this village, many believed sleep was a doorway, a time when the soul loosened its grip just enough to wander gently. Not far, just far enough to dream. That is why beds were often shared, with family, with warmth, with the comfort of knowing you were not alone in the dark. Tonight, though, you are perfectly at ease, held by the imagined presence of centuries past, people who once lay exactly like this, listening to the same wind, watching the same moon, finding rest without clocks, without alarms, without hurry. Your breathing slows again, and with each exhale, it feels like you are sinking deeper into the mattress, deeper into the story, deeper into sleep. At some point in the night, perhaps hours from now, perhaps only moments,
you drift into what medieval folk might have called the first sleep. This sleep is heavy and dark, thick like wool, a sleep that wraps fully around you. In it, dreams come slowly. You might dream of walking fields at dusk, of carrying a lantern that never goes out, of paths that glow softly beneath your feet. Or maybe you don't dream at all. Maybe you simply rest, floating in a deep, peaceful nothing. And if at some point your awareness gently rises, as it sometimes did for people long ago, that is perfectly fine. In this imagined night, you wake just a little. Not startled, not alert, just aware. The fire has burned lower now, glowing red like a watchful eye that never intrudes. The room is darker, but not cold. You sit up slightly, wrapped in your blanket, and feel the stillness of the hour. This is the quiet middle of the night, a time medieval people often used for soft prayers, gentle thoughts, or simply listening. You don't have to do anything. You might notice how calm your body feels, how loose your limbs are, how your mind is untroubled by lists or worries. Somewhere far away, an owl calls, a low, rounded sound, then silence again. You breathe in and out, and in this pause between sleeps, you feel something rare and precious, the sense that time has slowed just for you. No one expects anything from you right now. The world is resting, and so are you. After a while, without deciding, without effort, your eyelids grow heavy again. You lie back down, pull the blanket closer, and the bed welcomes you back as if you never left. This is where second sleep begins. It is lighter, dreamier, filled with softer images. In this sleep, people once believed the mind was more open, more creative, more gentle with itself. You might dream of candlelight flickering on stone walls, of hands kneading dough in the early dawn, of bells ringing not to wake you, but to bless the morning yet to come. Your breath becomes so quiet now that it feels like it's barely there, just a subtle rise and fall. And as you sink deeper into this second sleep, my voice becomes less something you listen to and more something that drifts past you, like wind through grass. You don't need to follow every word. Some words you hear, some you miss, and that's exactly right. Because sleep is not about paying attention, it's about letting go.
Or perhaps your dreams dissolve into color. Warm amber, deep blue, soft gray. Or perhaps there are no dreams at all, only rest. Either way, you are exactly where you need to be. The cottage now feels very far away, as if it exists only as a feeling. Warmth, safety, stillness. My voice continues, slow and calm, but you don't have to follow it. Sleep is already doing its quiet work. Your breath remains steady, your muscles loose, your thoughts drifting. And the medieval night wraps around you once more, thick and kind, ancient and familiar, guiding you deeper and deeper and deeper. And so, the night carries on, unbroken, slow, and endlessly patient. You are drifting now in that place where sleep feels wide and deep, where the body is heavy and the mind is light, like a lantern set gently on still water.
In this medieval world, the hours of darkness were not something to endure. They were something to inhabit. Imagine the village wrapped fully in night, every roofline softened by shadow, every path resting, every doorway quiet. No one is rushing anywhere. No one is watching the clock. Time itself seems to lie down and rest. As you sleep, the story wanders, not quickly, not with urgency, but the way a dream wanders, meandering, curious, unconcerned with destination. Long ago, people believed that sleeping close to the ground helped keep them connected to the earth. Beds were lower, closer to stone, closer to soil, closer to the deep, steady calm beneath everything. Imagine that grounding now, a sense of being gently anchored, supported not just by the bed, but by the world itself. The earth beneath you is cool, solid, unchanging. Above you, the thatched roof holds firm, woven tightly, protectively, keeping the night at just the right distance. And between those two, earth below, roof above, you rest, perfectly placed. Your breathing is so soft now that each inhale feels like a whisper, each exhale like a release. In
and out. In medieval homes, people often slept with animals nearby. A cat curled close for warmth, a dog stretched out near the hearth, their quiet presence adding to the sense of safety. Imagine that now. A small, warm weight near your feet, rising and falling with slow, sleepy breaths. Nothing to watch, nothing to manage, just companionship and calm. And as you rest, the mind loosens its grip even further. Thoughts no longer form sentences. They become sensations, impressions, echoes. A feeling of wool against skin, the distant memory of firelight, the low murmur of wind through trees. Everything moves more slowly here. If a dream forms, it does so gently. You might find yourself walking along a medieval road at dawn, not awake, not asleep, just drifting. The air is cool. Mist curls around your ankles. Somewhere a bell rings, not loud, not urgent, just a soft note floating through the air, then fading. Or maybe the dream shifts and you are lying in a field beneath a sky just beginning to lighten, watching stars disappear one by one, without sadness, without effort. The body remains deeply at rest. Your shoulders are loose, your jaw slack, your hands warm and heavy. You are no longer trying to sleep. You simply are sleeping. In the medieval night, there was a belief that the hours before dawn were especially healing, that something in the quiet helped the body knit itself back together and the mind find balance again. Whether that belief was true or not, it feels true now. Each breath you take feels restorative. Each moment of stillness feels nourishing. You don't need to remember anything. You don't need to plan anything. Morning is far away, and even when it comes, it will come gently, with light spreading slowly, with birds testing their voices, with warmth returning little by little. But for now, there is only night, and sleep, and the soft continuation of rest.
My voice may feel very distant now, or perhaps it has faded entirely into the background of your dreams. That's okay. You don't need it anymore. The medieval cottage, the hearth,
the habits of long ago, they dissolve into comfort rather than images. You are wrapped in something older than words, older than stories, the simple human ability to rest. And as this batch of the story gently comes to a pause, you may already be drifting so deeply that you won't notice the next part at all. Still, if you wish, the night can continue to unfold slowly, quietly, one soft image at a time. And the night still holds. It holds you the way a deep lake holds the moon, without effort, without movement, just quietly reflecting calm back to itself. You are far beyond the edges of the day now, far beyond schedules, far beyond names and numbers and noise. In this medieval night, sleep is not a destination, it is a landscape. You move through it, slowly, sometimes drifting, sometimes resting in one place so long it feels timeless. The cottage exists now only as a sensation, a sense of enclosure, of warmth gathered close, of safety that does not need to announce itself. Your body is very still. If you were to check, which you don't need to, you would find your breath moving in a steady rhythm, your heartbeat calm, your muscles loose and unguarded. The mind has stopped reaching outward. Instead, it sinks inward, like a stone settling at the bottom of clear water, finding the perfect place to rest. In medieval times, the night was filled with beliefs, some strange, some poetic, all gentle in their own way. People believed dreams could drift in through the mouth or slip softly through the ears, arriving on the night air. Imagine that now, dreams floating around you, waiting patiently until one finds you ready. And when it does, it settles in lightly, never startling, never demanding attention. You may notice images forming, or not. You may feel motion, or stillness. There is no right experience here, only rest. In the deep hours before dawn, the village is completely asleep. Even the fire has gone quiet, reduced to a memory of warmth beneath ash. The wind pauses between breaths. The world seems to listen to itself. And you are part of that listening. There is a softness now to everything. Your thoughts, if they appear at all, feel far away, like echoes in a wide stone hall, too distant to disturb you. If a sound reaches you, from the real world or the imagined one, it passes through gently, never catching, never pulling you back. Your sleep deepens again, deeper than before. The kind of sleep where the body lets go completely, where it remembers how to rest without instruction. Your limbs feel pleasantly heavy, as if gravity itself has grown kinder. Your face is smooth and slack, your brow untroubled, your mouth relaxed. And somewhere in this depth, time loosens its grip entirely. Minutes stretch into something wider, hours blur. The night no longer moves forward, it simply is. If you dream now, the dreams may be slow and quiet, a medieval river flowing under moonlight, water slipping around stones without sound, a field at dawn, untouched and still. Mist rising gently as if the earth is breathing. A candle burning steadily in a dark room, its flame never flickering, never threatening to go out. Or perhaps there are no images at all, only a vast, comforting darkness, thick and peaceful, like being wrapped in deep velvet. This is the kind of rest people once trusted with their lives, the kind that did not need to be controlled or optimized, the kind that arrived when the body felt safe enough to surrender. You are safe now. You are supported. Nothing is expected of you. And as the medieval night continues its slow, patient arc toward morning, you remain exactly where you are meant to be, deeply asleep, deeply calm, deeply at ease. My voice may come and go now, appearing only as a soft ripple on the surface of your rest, never disturbing what lies beneath. You do not need to follow it. Sleep is already guiding you. And if this were the end of the story, it would be enough. But if you wish, the night can continue to unfold one last gentle passage at a time, carrying you even deeper into the quiet heart of rest.